Hello! In this video, we're going to talk about how to rent bicycles in Mexico City. This version is in English, so if you need a Spanish version, please find my other video. Voy a hablar en inglés, pero si necesitas español, encuentra mi otro video. There are many small private bike shops that rent bicycles, but in this video, we'll focus on the largest and most popular company. It is called Ecobici. Ecobici is Mexico City's public bike sharing system. Ecobici allows you to take a bike from any Ecobici bike station and return it to any Ecobici bike station. You can only take the bike for 45 minutes before you have to return it. If you want to ride some more, you have to wait 2 minutes at the kiosk before you can take the next bike. You can do this an unlimited number of times. In other words, you can ride all day long and cover a great distance. You just have to find a station every 45 minutes, which is easy to do because there are around 450 bike stations around the city and around 6,000 bikes. They've got both electric bikes that are white and normal bicycles that are red. How do you unlock an Ecobici bicycle? There are two methods. Method number one, my preference. Arrange everything first before you come to Mexico City. In your home country, download that Ecobici app onto your phone. You do not need the app to take a bike or return it, but the app is useful for a few things. In your home country, go online to www.ecobici.cdmx.gov.mx. Click on the button, Become a User. It asks you if you want to pay for 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, or a year. 1 week costs about $20 US. You give them your credit card information, and they give you 2 numbers. Fly to Mexico City, find a bike station, walk up to the kiosk, type in the first number. You do not need to press any numbers first. You do not need to introduce yourself to the kiosk. You literally walk up and type the first number they gave you onto the keypad. Press the green button. That means good. Type in the second number you were given and press the green button again. Now look up at the large screen. A number appears. That tells you which bicycle to take. Walk to that bike. Lift up the front of the bike. That's it. Simple. You now have 45 minutes to return it to an Ecobici station. Before you get on the bicycle, look over the bicycle and make sure it looks okay. Make sure there are no flat tires and things like that. If something does not look good, just lock it back to where you found it, walk back to the kiosk, and it will assign you another bike. Also, before you ride away, you will likely want to adjust the seat height. The quick release mechanism is self-explanatory, and this is my biggest complaint with the bicycles. Ecobici has attached a device to the clamp that prevents over-tightening of the securing pin. As a result, sometimes you are not able to tighten the clamp as much as you need. And then later, as you are riding, the bicycle seat slowly slips down a little. Not really a big deal, but if your seat drops too much, you have to stop, get off the bike, lift the seat again, and then keep going. Method number 2 of how to unlock a bicycle. Step 1. In your home country, download the Ecobici app onto your phone. Fly to Mexico City, log on to the Ecobici website mentioned above. Create an Ecobici account, give them your credit card info. In Mexico City, buy a transportation card at a major transportation hub like a subway station or bus terminal. associate the transportation card with your Ecobici account. At this point, you are ready to unlock a bike. Find a bike station, walk up to the kiosk. Instead of typing numbers into the keypad, simply touch your transportation card to the card pad on the right. Now look up at the big screen and it tells you which bike to take. Are you confused with my instructions and want to talk to a living person face to face? Ecobici has about 3 locations where one person is sitting on a chair, probably playing on their phone. Let's call them customer service stands. This person is sitting inside what looks like a small taco stand. I found one inside a strip of land between 2 lanes of traffic, what I call a median strip. Extremely hard to find. If you do find one of these 3 people, they will tell you to do what I just said. You can go to an Ecobici website and they will describe the basic locations of these carts. But since there is no hard mailing address, Ecobici gives landmarks that make sense only once you are in Mexico City. Google Maps will not help you find the customer service stands because they have no address. These customer service stands are extremely difficult to find. To unlock an Ecobici bike, I recommend the method 1 that I outlined above. Arrange everything first before you arrive. You do not need to speak Spanish. You do not need to read Spanish once you are in Mexico City. You just need those 2 numbers. Ecobici station locations and the Ecobici app on your phone. Like most major cities, there are many locations where you can take and return a bike. You can try to use the Ecobici app on your phone, but you can definitely find these stations with Google Maps. Let's talk about your phone briefly and Wi-Fi. When I made this video, Mexico City had free public Wi-Fi in most places. It is really good, but not perfect. And of course, there are dead spots. When your phone cannot find the public Wi-Fi, it will try to find some other data connection, like roaming. We can talk about cell phones later if I see enough interest. But back to your Ecobici app. The Ecobici app is horrible. I hate it. Basically, if your phone cannot find Wi-Fi, which happens a lot, your Ecobici app will not work. It is extremely frustrating. You could be in a very popular area filled with people, but because there are many trees overhead, or if you are standing close to a tall building that is blocking Wi-Fi, your Ecobici app will not work. Maybe by the time you see this video, the company has fixed this specific problem, maybe not. There are so many problems with the app that at one point, I almost removed it from my phone. You do not need the app to take a bike or return it. So why did I keep the Ecobici app? How did I use it? The app only has one function on it that makes it worth keeping on your phone. There is a tiny button on it that, when pressed, it will show you designated bicycle lanes around the city. Now you may think to yourself, Google Maps has this function. Well, that's true in your home country, but this is not true once you're here in Mexico City. If you do not have Google Maps on your phone, go ahead and install it in your home country. If you already have it, be aware that it will work slightly different in Mexico City. You might hear me say Google Maps or Mexican Google Maps because there is a difference in how they work. Bicycle lanes. Mexican Google Maps has no idea where bike lanes are. It will show you something, it will appear to know, but once you are actually in Mexico City, you will see that this is not the case. In fact, Google Maps does have a bike lane function. It shows you some pretty strange things. Do not use it. Use your Ecobici bicycle map. This ended up being the only reason that I would use the Ecobici app, because It does know the bicycle lanes really well. It's not perfect, but it is better than Google Maps. Go ahead and use Mexican Google Maps for everything else, like finding a bike station, knowing how many bikes are available at each station, a route finder, just not bike lanes. I don't want to get into further detail about how horrible the current Ecobici app is because apps are always being updated and improved, and maybe it has been improved since the making of this video. The bicycles. The streets, in general, are in horrible condition. Holes, bumps, cracks, etc. This means that the bicycles take a beating. There is often something not perfect with the bike. These Ecobici bikes are great for slow speed, leisurely, calm rides, perfect for tourists. They are not for high-speed riding, and they're not for riding in the dirt. Electric Ecobici bikes. The upsides. There are several stations dedicated to electric Ecobici bicycles. These stations only give and receive electric bicycles. They are white, look newer. I like them. When you are not moving, like at a red light, and then the light turns green and you begin to pedal, the electric bicycle can tell that you want to go, and it really helps. Very strong, very fast. These electric bicycles provide amazing assistance up to a certain speed. I noticed that once you're traveling at the speed of light, the assist does not really help you go faster. But from stop to go, the electric assistance is awesome. Electric Ecobici bikes. The downsides. There are far fewer electric stations than stations for normal bicycles. In fact, they are pretty sparse. And again, if you take an electric bike from an electric station, you have to return it to an electric station. I stopped using the electric Ecobici bicycles because the stations were always far from me or far from my destination. Coverage area. There are Ecobici stations in the core of the city where there are things to do, things to see, everywhere a tourist would want to travel, where the big businesses are, where the money is. There are a lot of stations. I once took a bicycle far out of the system, far away from any Ecobici station, and discovered nothing of interest. Just more houses, more apartments, more gas stations, more of the same. This is true in your own home city. Not every inch of your own city would be of interest to a tourist. Some neighborhoods are boring. I concluded that Ecobici has great coverage where it's needed. My final thoughts on Ecobici before we talk about the competition. I really like public bicycles. I would use the normal Ecobici bicycles without any hesitation, unless it is currently raining or about to rain or just finished raining. I avoid the electric Ecobici bikes because taking and returning is too inconvenient. Competition for Ecobici. The second largest company that offers bicycles to rent is, I can't tell. It is these white bikes. They have a scan code on their rear brakes. I did scan it with my brand new iPhone, and this is what my brand new iPhone did. So I have no information other than this. I did ask an Ecobici employee about these other bikes, and she replied, yes, they are different from us. They do not appear to have lock-up stations. I see them everywhere parked, just standing by themselves, not locked up to anything. The wheels must lock themselves up, and your phone can unlock them. I'm guessing the app will tell you where to locate the bicycles. Anywho, there are far fewer of these bikes than Ecobici bicycles, and I do not see them on the outskirts of the city, just in the core. These bikes do look a little stronger than Ecobici bikes. I see solid tires, not tires that need air, so they cannot go flat. That's cool. But As I might have mentioned before, I was so happy with Ecobici that I did not bother doing much research on this alternative. And this is the end of the video. If you like this video, feel free to check out my other videos about Mexico City, including money, exchange rates, fees, and other transportation modes, including how to use the subway in Mexico City. Thank you. Bye-bye.